you ready for that culinary restaurant motive, which, even though it was kind of fast paced with 3 weeks, everything was changing.
Yeah.
But when you're there, 8 to 9 hours in a class, it's kind of, again, getting you ready for a restaurant job that, a little bit of hours. So I think you just beat yourself up and make sure you're getting the proper brunoise, the proper, tournée and stuff like that, or making sure your station's clean, and even ordering, like they kind of relied on you for, okay, tomorrow we're having these things, make sure you order the proper vegetables and stuff. So I think it was a nice little progression to get someone ready for that restaurant world. And then plus they had 4 restaurants on the campus, which that was pretty much your final 4 classes.
Yeah.
You got to work front of the house in one restaurant, and then you also got to work at the back of the house in the same restaurant. And then they had like the escoffier room, which you did the front and the back of the house as well. And so you got to do like, crepe Suzette tableside or bananas Foster tableside and stuff like that. So it kind of got people interested in the front of the house. Like, it really got me interested actually in the front of the house at that time, and I thought that was going to be the move for me when I was getting ready to leave there. But things have always changed.
Yeah. God damn. That's crazy.
But I don't know how, if that's the same.
It's literally, and Johnson was the same, yeah. And then some kids get to eat in the dining room for the dining room class.
Yep.
And they get served.
Yeah.
But I remember it would end very abruptly if like service didn't go well. Like sometimes you wouldn't get your entree. You wouldn't get dessert. Yeah, because like they wouldn't serve you shit from the kitchen, and they're learning it.
For sure.
So, or sometimes your server just was so bad that you would never get your drinks, and you would, and then they just turned on the lights. All right, dinner's over, and you're like, bro,
Well, also one of my favorite classes was breakfast cuisine, and you got up at 3:30, 4 o'clock. You prepped, omelet station. You prepped, poach station. Whatever the sweet station, whether it be pancakes, crepes, or whatever like that.
You gotta love a good omelet station.
Totally, and that was actually part of their curriculum about you have to make a perfect French omelet in 2 minutes or less.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I still remember that day. I was actually on omelet station that day, and I was like, did a few test runs, and I was like, okay, chef, I'm ready. Yeah. Banged it out.
Crushed it. Oh, wait, you had 2 years of experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember going to culinary school and not having any restaurant experience, and and then you see the kids that do, and you're like, damn. Like, I remember I used to go to class with this kid named Cyrus, and he would go to class with us for the 7 hours and then go to work in Newport, Rhode Island for like all night long, come back at 3 in the morning, and I'm like, this guy's a hardcore line cook because he's come all burned up and shit, and all of us are like, we're in class, making this recipe, and he's like sleeping because he was fucking, he's been working so long.
I was very impressed with some of the people that did have, jobs and, how they managed that. There was one guy in my class named Thomas McKenna. Mm-hmm. He did a stage at John George.
Okay.
And he's still with John George. He was his culinary director.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, we graduated in 2008, so he's had a hell of a career.
I gotta say that JG is a great company to work for. People just stay.
Yeah.
Just stay.
I'm very impressed because, he's had, I'm sure he's had many opportunities to do his own thing, but to be that dedicated to that one chef, just and see his progression where, it's like, damn, that's amazing.
Yeah, the most successful chefs know how to promote from within, and they're great leaders, and people want to follow them, and I think that's amazing because you're building just this global family of restaurants and France and here, and this connection of I think it's a beautiful thing. Him and Balud and all them guys, I'm excited to see in the future what chefs do that. And have that dynasty, a reigning dynasty.
Totally.
And I'm excited, man, because the pages are about to turn to that.
Yeah,
exactly. A lot of these chefs are aging out.
Mm-hmm. Hell, TK has a great look right now.
Yeah, he really. You see the beard? You see the beard?
Man,
I'm like, he got the beard. He's looking skinny. I'm like, this motherfucker doing pull-ups or something.
The guy that He was a hard ass about clean shave and everything. He looks like a nice little. He's ready for No Shave November.
Oh, for sure, for sure. You know, it's funny how that like turned because now David Breeden also has a beard.
Yeah,
and they all wear beards now.
Totally.
It's like, you know, I think I want to say that the restaurant I met would definitely influence them. You know, because we were wearing beards 10 years before it was cool in the Michelin star game. All right, I just want to put that out there for everybody. Okay,
meeting Chef Kyle, he had a beard. I'm like, so I can work here and have a beard. That's great because like, I had a beard, but I was like, I didn't. Yeah, I don't know what my face looks like.
I was like, Chef, I have no chin. I need a beard. It's like I want people to fear me. No. So after school, where'd you do your internship?
You know, during that, I kind of thought I was going to go into banquet and catering, and my brother lived in St. Louis, still does, and I was like, free room board. I'm going to live with my brother, and I worked at the Renaissance Grand Hotel downtown.
Okay. Gotcha.
And in the banquet and catering, and so that was
doing 500 person weddings and shit.
God. Like I've never cooked off more chicken breasts, salmon fillets.
Yeah,
fillets.
The hottest place you've ever felt in your life.
Yeah,
because they need to be laid out for so long, so they're literally in a 350
Queen Mary and all the banquet Queen Mary holding things with plating up 500 conveyor belts.
Conveyor belts. See, I never worked in that game. I did. My internship at the Radisson Airport Hotel in Rhode Island.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's where I did it. And it was just a bunch of guys who were at Johnson & Wales that became like the chefs there.
Yeah.
So it was a young crew, and they were super energetic. And there was one like older chef that would run the banquets. And so we would just there'd be like 45, 50 plates out or 120 plates. Or we'd have to do waves where it's like, okay, plate... Servers take plates down again. Blah 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 blah. I'm amazed at how quick you can get the food out. You know,
totally.
It's pretty. When you have the right systems. You know, for sure.
And
so
even though it was like a rude awakening, like fuck, I don't want to do banquet.
Yeah, you don't want to do banquet. Exactly.
But that chef is very and still is part of my life. Like he helped me progress down the road because he came up with another opportunity for me, which was huge. Yeah. So not everything out of a corporate gig. You know, it's always fun to see both sides, corporate versus independent restaurant.
Always more experience. You learn two different managing styles.
Exactly.
You know, passion versus robots. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's totally. So after you do your internship, you get out of school. What are you planning on? What do you got?
I got a call before graduation. A family friend was going to had a convention center in near my hometown.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's a small restaurant that's for sale. We're thinking about buying it. Hey, would you like to be our chef? And I'm like, that's every person's dream.
Yeah.
To own a restaurant. I'm like, fuck, that's going to happen right out of school. And my best friend.
Did you feel ready?
Fuck no, I didn't feel ready.
Okay.
But I was like, my roommate at school still one of my really dear friends. I was like, hey, do you want to? He's from Schenectady, New York. I go, hey, do you want to move to Indiana and help me open a restaurant? He goes, okay.
You're like, didn't expect you to say that.
Yeah. So we decided to move back to Indiana. We lived above the restaurant, which is this old, built in the late 1800s hotel, haunted as hell.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very cool. What's it called?
It was called the Windsor Restaurant and Garden.
Windsor, okay.
And actually the original name of the hotel was the Windsor, but it had different levels of identities throughout its years.
Is it still there?
It is still there. It's actually a steakhouse, and the people that took over put a lot of money into it, and it definitely shows, and it's definitely a better place.
Okay, very cool. Yeah. Awesome. It's cool when that happens.
Yeah. And they did it right. They did it really nice. And we had the owners of this establishment did have money, but not as heavy, deep pockets as the people that have it now.
Yeah. Okay.
But we went there kind of guns a-blazing for Southern Indiana. We were talking to wine reps when we weren't even 21 yet and decided on wine menus. Mm-hmm. But then we basically took everything that we learned in culinary school and just put it on the menu.
And applied it, yeah.
So okay, we're going to have...
Very classic dishes.
Grilled pork chops with apples.
Mm-hmm. And Brussels sprouts and bacon.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, baby.
And Indians love that, still love that. Yeah. And so it was fun to experience that where you're like, oh shit, food cost. Oh shit, labor. And it was just kind of like not a rude awakening, but it was just fun because there was just 5 of us in the kitchen, and 3 of these employees came from the vocational school that I went to.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. I was going to ask you about staffing.
Yeah. So,
did you have any older people walk in and be like, what are you guys doing?
Not at
all. Was there anybody mentoring you guys for the business?
No. We were...
You just did it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's fucking cool.
Definitely ballsy. And, definitely, once that 1 year mark, I remember like, okay, we're doing something good here. Like funny enough, there was a farmer's market really next door to it. So we got to make connections with that, local beef, local vegetables. Cause I think coming from the farm, that's always been my mantra, just trying to have those connections and how can I get you guys in my restaurant? And so and there was microbrewers were like progressing around that area. So we were having wine dinners, beer dinners, farmers market dinners. So like we were getting that small town attention. The bad thing is it was so close to Louisville, people were just driving past us over across the bridge, not thinking about it.
Gotcha.
And so like we were getting some attraction from Louisville. My biggest accomplishment was there was the throwdown with Bobby Flay was huge.
Yeah.
Or starting to be huge that time. And they had their own throwdown with all these Louisville chefs doing a shrimp and grits cook-off.
Yeah.
And like, I'm gonna sign up for this.
Yeah.
And I fucking won.
I
beat 12 chefs out of Louisville.
And Bobby Flay?
Now, Bobby Flay wasn't part of this. He just copied off Bobby Flay. But they just wanted to get the community of Louisville together to have this. So
understood.
To get my name out there with, the big chefs of Louisville was a huge, like, mind-blowing thing. Because I was like, well, they announced, like, People's Choice, and I didn't get that. They announced, like, third place, second place. I'm like, well, there goes my chance. And then I was kind of like cleaning up my station. They're like, oh, in first place, Justin McMillen from the Windsor. And I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
And then all these chefs were like, what did you do? And you just start making those connections, and then you start to branch and eat out in Louisville a bit more, some of the higher end restaurants. And it was just that was a nice eye opening for how cool the restaurant community is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Very loving.
Very much so. And they would come across the bridge and like they would eat at our
place, and you'd go over there.
Exactly.
Awesome.
It was like return the favors, and it was a beautiful thing.
Great. So how long did you have that restaurant?
We were there for 2 years exactly. We my friend from CIA, he had actually a full ride scholarship to the CIA for the bachelor's program, and it was getting ready to expire. He's like,
I got to do this. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. And funny enough, the chef of the hotel that I did my externship, he left the hotel and he called me. He's like, hey, I'm going to take this executive chef job in Clarksville, Missouri, which is about an hour and a half north of the Mississippi.
Gotcha.
Again, small town. He's like, I'd be thrilled if you want to join me.
Yeah.
And like, sure. So came out to like see the property. Farm Aid was going on in St. Louis. Like John Mellencamp, Willie Nelson, like that. It was like a concert series, and they provide fundraising for farmers. And so we were like one of the restaurants to cook for them, and that was really cool. And
that's dope.
Yeah, and then like this lady had a.
Did you get to meet Willie?
Yeah, got to say hi.
Very cool, awesome, man.
Mellencamp and everything. Yeah, very cool. It was and John Mellencamp was actually from Southern Indiana, so I was like, I know who you are.
Yeah. You're like, I love you.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And, this lady had a plot of land up in Clarksville that had 3 B&Bs and a restaurant. And so I moved up there, again, kind of not knowing anything because I'd just been working for myself. And, I kind of got hired on as a sous chef in small town, and you're just kind of like chucking away at like how progressive can we be with the food. Come to find out, like, not really. Steak, potatoes, chicken parm, kind of stuff like that. But but at least I got some guidance from him as managerial skills and riding schedules out. And
got you. Were you doing things completely wrong at the other place? Not completely, but like, was there things that you're like, oh my god?
A little bit. Like, definitely. I got more refined this way.
You're like, I got to call John back. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so sorry. That's funny.
No, that's.
How long did you stay sous chef for him?
Again, like a 2-year thing. Like he had a really interesting deal because he was with Marriott for so long. his family was actually stationed in Winston-Salem. So he would work 3 weeks in Clarksville, Missouri, fly home for a week, come back, work 3, fly home for a week.
Whoa.
So, that kind of took a toll